Ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're on the interior of the garage here. A couple things to talk about. This is a stack of bricks. We usually leave everybody like 15 to 20 bricks in the garage. This is from one of the straps of bricks that we used on this home in particular. So if there's any type of brickwork that has to be done, these will match perfectly to all the rest of the bricks that are on the front and the sides. Water heater right here. This is going to be covered under your 2-year plumbing warranty. There is a little bit of maintenance that you're going to want to do on your water heater, flushing your water heater, okay? So out here, it is hard water. There's lots of lime in the water, perfectly fine for people to drink and bathe with and cook with and all that good stuff. It's just not good to have lime gathering up in your water heater. So you're going to come down here about twice a year to your T&P valve, your temperature and pressure valve. You're going to hold this handle, pull it up just like that. The water heater will start flushing water through it, and you just leave it open like this for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, okay? After that 4 or 5 minutes is up, grab your handle and just turn it right back off, okay? So about twice a year, you'll flush it out for 4 or 5 minutes, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna remove any bit of lime that's gathered up inside of the heating element and just keep your water heater healthy for longer. So that is definitely something that's good to do. Now, it's not the end of the world if you forget to do it. I mean, I know people that never flushed their water heater ever once and it was perfectly fine, but it's gonna keep this water heater running nicely for longer. So if you wanna keep this water heater for as long as possible, you're gonna wanna do that flushing. Now, something that I always point out to people, the filter and the bleach at the attic, that's twice a year. Water heater, twice a year. So just pick 2 days of every year that you do all those things, and then if anybody ever asks, oh, have you been doing your flushing of the water heater? Have you been changing your filter? Have you been to bleach? You can say, yes, I do it on January 1st and June 1st of every year, and then nobody can give you a hard time if they think that it was like your fault or something like that. So that's the best way to do that. That's just an escutcheon. That's just to cover up where it penetrates through the wall. We'll pick it up in a little while. So next thing in our garage, this is our water shutoff. So this is going to function as the primary water shutoff for the interior of the home. Okay. So if you ever have a leak or some type of just something is happening that has to do with water in your home and you're wanting to stop the water, come out here, grab this handle, pull it up like that. Now every single bit of water that was going into the home is not going in anymore. So the toilets don't flush, the sinks don't turn on, the showers don't turn on, none of the water works. Okay, let's say everything is fixed, the leak is good, everything is fine. Come right back out here, take this handle, push it right down, and all the water is coming back into the home. So that is your secondary water shutoff, but it's functioning as the primary to the interior. Now the primary water shutoff is going to be the meter shutoff is what it's called. It's out at that strip of sod out near the street. It's in like a little black plastic box, and you're generally going to share a meter box with your neighbor. So the shutoff on your side is yours, shutoff on your neighbor's side is obviously going to be theirs. Usually those meter boxes are filled up with like water and mud and stuff just because it rains and stuff gets in there. So we put that there for everybody's convenience so they can turn their water off if they have to. Sprinkler control panel. This is called your Rainbird. I'm actually going to have John label this so that they know where all the zones are. When we come back for our final, since it's not labeled right now, I just don't know which zone is where, so I'm not going to be able to like set it to a good setting right now. But when we come back and he's labeled it, you can take another little video form of me if you want, and I'll just kind of show y'all how to set up the schedule and all that good stuff. But I'll make sure John labels this. That's pretty minor. I'll just make sure that he does that today for us, okay?
Okay.
But when we come back, I will make sure that we set it to like a good general setting, and then they can just kind of dial it up and down as necessary for if they think the yard is looking a little thirsty or a little damp or whatever. So we'll get that all set up when we come back. Let's see here. So bushes, trees, and plants, looking green, looking alive. You have your sprinklers, so it'll be pretty easy to keep them alive as long as you keep those sprinklers on. If any of the bushes, trees, or plants just turns brown and dies in between now and the day of the final, absolutely, we'll replace anything that dies in between now and the final. After you get the keys, these bushes, trees, and plants, they are your babies. You're going to have to keep them alive. If they die after closing, Lennar will not replace them, okay? That will be up to the homeowner to replace any bushes, trees, or plants that die. We're going to do another pressure wash on everything. We'll do another clean on the home. We'll sweep, we'll mop. We'll vacuum all the carpets. We'll spray down all the flat work, make it look nice and pretty for everybody. Couple things over here. I'm getting pretty close to done, and then I'll just walk around the side and make sure our fence is looking good. Our breaker panel right here. So on these exterior panels, there is a little area that you can lock it if you want to. So this little latch right here is where you can lock it if you need to, but how you'll open it is you just press that latch up, slide your panel down, and open it just like that. Looks like it was just our breaker for our dryer, like I said, so I'll go back there and check in just 1 second, but I didn't think it was the dryer, and it's usually a breaker. So I'll let John know, and I'll have the electricians just look at it to make sure if there's anything wrong, they fix it, but probably just something going on with the breaker. But we'll go check it and make sure the dryer's turning on here in just 1 second. When you close it, you just gotta kind of push that lip underneath, shut it like that, and then push it up just like that, and then your little latch will come back down. E-meter, so that's your electric meter. Grounding rod over there as well, so our home is double grounded. If it gets struck by lightning, it's not going to fry all your electric, so it's just going to ground it through the rods. This is our internet drop box, so our cable and internet lines get dropped into the home by Fission, the internet company. Internet is paid for by your HOA fees in this community, so that's already set up and working as of right now. When we come back for the final, I can give you the little temporary password if they need it. Okay. A little trace wire right here, so that's not like a live electric wire, that's just something they use to find the gas line whenever they're flagging lines. So they'll use a little metal detector and find where that trace wire is. This right here is the wiring going up into the Rainbird control panel, so the sprinkler panel.
Do you have the insulated cover?
For what?
For these pipe.
So not for the gas lines, those don't have to be insulated. That's not going to be affected by cold weather. This one does not have water in it. This is just like wires going up in.
I see.
And then this, your hose bib, we do put a little bit of insulation on here. That's the standard amount. If you're really concerned about it, best way to do it, in my opinion, just take some rags and duct tape and just kind of wrap it up if it's going to be super cold. But yeah, that's really all you'll have to do with like a hose bib. Maybe just wrap it up a little bit if it is going to be super duper cold outside. Over here, we will have, there's a little U-shaped pipe that comes out of the ground. It's called a pressure vacuum breaker. It is part of the sprinkler system. So, right here.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
So, what this is something that stops, it prevents backflow into your sprinkler system. So if there were to be like a flood, we don't want dirty flood water going into your sprinkler heads and getting back into the city's water supply that way. So this creates a gap here to stop that from happening. I'm just gonna take this off, we don't need this. So, I'm just gonna take this little cover off here. Most people just leave these open. I mean, there's really no reason to have it closed all the time. I'll just leave it here for them in case they do want to put it on. So if it is going to freeze outside, this is the one metal pipe in the entire home that has water in it, okay? All of our plumbing that's inside of our walls, it's all PEX, so you don't have to worry about like dripping your faucets or anything like that. If it's gonna freeze, that PEX can expand and contract as necessary. But this metal cap right here, a copper cap, we call it a bell, it's worth about $400, and if you leave water in it when it freezes outside, that water will expand as it turns into ice. It will shatter your cap, and it will cost you $400 to replace. So, you see the weather, it says it's gonna freeze outside. Your very first thought, I need to get the water out of my pressure vacuum breaker. A lot of videos on YouTube that'll show you how to do it. I'll just give you a little crash course here real quick. Number one, we're gonna isolate our cap. So we're gonna take these blue handles, we're going to turn them into the off position. So right now they're running with the pipes, they're on. We're going to take them, turn them sideways, perpendicular, to stop the water flow into our cap. Next, we're going to take a flathead screwdriver to this, turn it to the left, let the water bleed out. Take a flathead screwdriver to this, turn that to the left, let the water bleed out, okay? So that is what you need to do. You just need to remove the water from your pressure vacuum breaker. Sometimes people like to wrap this cap up with like some duct tape and rags and stuff like that. So most important part being to get the water out. Like I said, there might be 200 videos on YouTube of how to do that. That's how I learned how to do it. So if you ever forget, just YouTube, how do I winterize my pressure vacuum breaker, my PVB? It's like a 2-minute video. So that'll show you anytime you need to figure that out. Our gate. Bit hard to open and close. I'll I'll make sure John gets it adjusted for us. So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll just get the fencer out here, and he'll just probably adjust these hinges a little bit just to make it a little easier to open and close. I'm able to open and close it, but just a little hard. So I'll have him come back and do that for us. No problem.
Okay.
It'll be pretty easy. So right now, all that we're really worried about is I'm going to have the electricians look at the breaker. Just make sure there's nothing wrong with that. I'll
Right.
also test the dryer in just 1 second. We're obviously going to fix those cabinet doors and like, do little touch-ups there, and then I'm going to have him label those rainbird zones. So
Okay.
pretty easy
Okay.
stuff. So.
Cool.
So just walking down our side yard. Something to note about our fence. Lennar does not warrant the fence, okay? So if like a hurricane comes along, it knocks the fence over. That's not really a warrantable item. Your neighbor's dog chews on the bottom. That's just some mortar. We can definitely touch that up for him. There we go. You can probably actually pull this one out and just get him a different brick right there. I'll let John decide what he needs to do, but we'll repair this for sure. Let me do this here. Zones. Sorry, I'm just making a little note for myself so I remember to tell
Yeah.
you this.
Right.
Repair brick at window ledge, right side yard. Check breaker for dryer. Sorry. And cabinet punch. Cap punch. Okay, fixed. So fence, not warranted by Lennar. If a hurricane knocks it over, we're not going to come and replace it unless we had somehow done something wrong and installed it wrong, something like that. The fence is called a good neighbor fence. It's laid directly on the property line and it's switched back and forth. These sections, the flat ones with the pickets on this side, that is this home's fence, okay? So these are your responsibility. These ones are going to be the neighbors. You're going to be sharing fence with this neighbor, sharing fence with this neighbor back here, and then you'll be sharing fence with the neighbor on the left side as well. So just keep that in mind. If the fence is damaged, you're not entirely responsible for the whole thing. That's going to be kind of a neighbor to neighbor basis there. So just got to figure out who's responsible for what. I'll get them to spray down all this little dirt and stuff off the siding, just make it look a little nicer for us. I think they're actually working on something. They're like pulling a line through right there, but I'll confirm with John, and if we need to backfill it, it is going to get backfilled eventually, but I just need to make sure what they're actually doing with that. Yeah, so I'll make sure that he knows about that as well. Let's see. This little debris and stuff, we'll get that all picked up. This is our condenser over here.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, no problem. Taking some pictures.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good. I mean, really minor stuff, so it's looking really nice. I'm a little crazy with my tape, so it always looks a little crazy when I'm done taping up. You can get a little, they're like, "Oh my God, it's a lot." I'm like, "It's me. It's not anybody else. This is me." Yeah. I can have them roll it out a little bit right here as well, just kind of flatten it out a little bit better. We'll pick up all this stuff. This is all going to be gone when we come back. This sticker right here, this is the model serial number for the condenser right here, if you wanted to grab a picture of that one.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Awesome. So don't forget, when they register the HVAC stuff, they're going to want to do the unit, like the handler in the attic, and the condenser, okay? It's 2 separate registrations. Rain sensor, so that's just going to detect if it's raining. It'll turn the sprinkler system off, so you're not wasting money or water you don't have to be using. This is our vent for our tankless water heater. It's just where the hot air comes out. This right here, this is where that T&P valve terminates. So you see how there's a little bit of water right here?
Yeah.
That's from when I turned it on earlier. Like I opened up that valve. That's where it'll flush out from, okay? So it's perfectly fine, nothing to be concerned of. Now the other purpose for that T&P valve, it's set to a specific PSI, 150 PSI. So if it gathers up too much pressure on the inside, it'll actually pop and shoot steam out this. So I generally recommend, if anybody has like little dogs or kids or anything, try to keep them away from this area. I've never seen one pop, but you really wouldn't want to be standing next to it as steam like shot out of it. So that's something to keep in mind. Condenser shut-off switch right here. So this is just an on-off switch for the condenser. Most people, myself, yourself, we're not going to touch that. That's just going to be like an HVAC technician. If they need to service the condenser, they can turn it off right there. And then last but not least, our service outlet right here, just for if anybody needs to plug any tools or anything like that in while they're working on the condenser.